but
Okay,
we're good at that.
We'd love to talk real estate. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever you like to listen to podcasts at Talk Real Estate Roundtable. If you would like a one-on-one consultation with me and my team to discuss your real estate needs, you can connect with me at bostonconnect.com or 781-826-8000. Now, sit back, relax, take good notes, and let's talk real estate.
And good morning to all of our South Shore neighbors. I'm getting an echo, Tim. Yeah, I'm getting an echo.
It's a big echo.
It is a big echo. Good morning to all of our South Shore neighbors. My name is Wallace, and you are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. I am joined by the one and only Tracy Grady.
Good morning, South Shore.
Good morning, and welcome back.
Thank you so much. It's been a while.
It has been a while. I don't know if I'm going to be able to listen to my headphones because that echo is insane. I don't know if it's Tim or if it's us, but if it's us, then I'm just going to put my headphones down.
It's a big echo.
It's a big echo. Yeah. So you
It's nice to be back.
Yeah. It is nice to be back. I'm going to give you a moment to reintroduce yourselves to all of our listeners, and I'm going to turn our headphones off.
Oh, that's probably a good idea. I don't think I've ever done it without the headphones. So funny. Yeah. Well, my name is Tracy Grady, and I work here at Boston Connect Real Estate. Been here for about 8-9 years now. I work with my husband Jim. We live in Hanover together. Headphones seem to be working. Oh, good. Yeah. Nope, still echoing. We sell. All right, I'm going to keep talking here. We primarily work on the South Shore. We do residential real estate, and we are happy to be here at Boston. Yeah, I'm so out of whack.
I know. Yeah.
Like now we're just talking. I know it's two regular people. So weird for me because I've never done that.
Yeah. You've been here longer than me. So
Just a little bit.
9 years.
9 years. Yep. Jim and I got our license. I used to work for the town of Pembroke, so I'm very familiar with the area and the way that the towns work, which is super helpful.
Yeah.
So I enjoy selling real estate, and I bartend part-time on the side. Venus here in Pembroke. So
and come on down because we're both.
Yeah, come on down. We'll be there tonight.
Yeah. I got to text 3 years ago.
My foot back in.
That was 3 years ago, and we're still there, and we're having fun, and
we have a great time.
Yeah, we do.
We get to work together in both of our very favorites.
Yes, both of our very favorite. And one of our favorite places is to be on TD. Yes.
Talking real estate.
So you can call. Well, I don't know if we'll be able to listen. So Tim can text me if
get a call
if he needs me. But if you want to join in the discussion, you can call or text 781-837-4990 is the number at the studio. We are also live on Facebook, YouTube, all that stuff. So be sure to follow Boston Real Estate. You can also follow Sharon McNamara. Any of the pages if you live here on the South Shore. We're live, and I'll be sharing. So if you follow me, Wallace.
That's how you can.
You can actually text me 781-534-1991. Tim, you can text me too because I don't know if I don't communicate with you. 781-534-1991 is my cell phone. So give me a ring.
Give me a jingle. Reach me at 617-620-8484. There we go.
So we you haven't done the show in a while, and I missed you.
Last I was here, we were knee deep in NAR, all of the above.
The settlement going on. The settlement. The settlement. And we haven't really haven't really talked about it that much on the show recently because not much has really changed. And to be honest with you, there's some things that are changing and will be changing in our industry. But we're trying to stay ahead of it and sort of
kind of tend to keep in my own lane. Just kind of keep my head down, do things the right way.
Yeah, well, you gotta do things the right way. We love doing things the right way here.
And I feel like we are definitely ahead of that. Any questions?
Yeah. Any questions are always welcome.
Correct.
But I just put the live thing on. So you are back with me, and we sort of just swing our shows.
We totally swing our shows. We're going to talk about.
You never know.
Real estate.
Julia was like, oh, what do you want the show to be? And I was like,
wing it.
What's happening in the real estate market?
What's happening in the real estate
market? But yeah, you haven't really joined me recently. So why don't you give an update of what's going on with the Grady team, because you are a team here with your husband.
Kim and I are a team here, and actually a slow start for us this year. I think everybody that I've talked to, I do a mastermind things with some mortgage brokers, and we get together with other agents, and everybody's kind of saying the same thing. But the summer seems to have loosened up a bit, and people are really thinking about putting their homes on the market. So I do feel a little bit inventory is still super low as far as housing on the market. There's still not a lot out there, and when you do have a nice house on the market, there is a lot of competition out there. We had a recent sale with one in Hanover, and we had an agent that just not taking no for an answer, really, because she was working for her clients. Clients had been rejected so many times. Put in multiple offers on multiple homes, and they were just not getting anywhere. So they did end up purchasing the home, and I'm so happy for them. Really wanted to get into Hanover.
Yeah.
It just actually worked really well. The timing worked out well for them. We didn't actually put the house on the market. I give her a lot of credit. You really got to be out there for your clients.
I know.
Working, for your buyer clients to get them into houses because it's just
well. And I will say, I know that you did your paperwork all right and well, and everything was all beforehand. So that's why you were able to show the property before it was listed in MLS.
Yep.
You had, I think, done coming soon, and your phone just started blowing up.
It blew up. I was just, and then coming soon are always, it's always tough. I didn't foresee that. I just did it as kind of like just want to see what it looked like and try to give sellers an indication of what was coming their way. And I just did not expect the response that I got was just unbelievable. Like the phone calls that I had coming in, and I had all these balls up in the air. I'm like, oh my god. So coming soon thing. I think you have to really be prepared for that. Like.
And for that property in particular, it was an estate sale, correct?
So it was an estate sale. The mom. So the house definitely needed some work. It actually needed septic systems. So, I mean, it really needed everything. But it was in a lovely neighborhood in Hanover. And if you're trying to get into a family neighborhood, you really have to. You got to keep your feelers out there. Coming on the market, or you're going to miss your opportunity. So I think that was it was kind of like that perfect little niche house that hit that price point.
Yeah. That everybody wanted.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, I only bring the fact that it was an estate sale because that also brings a layer of if the home needs to be cleaned out, if it's ready to be sold, everything like we said with your paperwork is all bundled up. Is everything else bundled where it's ready to put on the market?
That one kind of needed a time. So
it didn't help that your phone was blowing out, and while you're like,
well, still kind of waiting to get everything out of the house. So you go buy it, and you're like, I wish there was more out of the house, so I could least I could get people to see it. And I had people calling us wanting to see the property.
Yeah.
But so it worked out great for everybody. Everybody, people got their house, their dreams, and they were so happy. And the sellers were really happy because it was a very easy sale. So good on all parts. But other than that, the market had been slow up to that point. And I think it still goes back to COVID and back to the 2 and 3 and 4% interest rate that people are not putting their houses on the market. Again, I say this all the time. We have young couples that purchased their first house, not necessarily their forever home or their next home. And they don't want to put their house on the market because they don't want to get 2.9% interest rate. And that's hard to argue the point. To be honest with you, I'm like, I get it. Like, I'm already paying a low amount. We love our house. We put some time into it. We've been here for a while. Is it my ideal dream house? No. But my mortgage payment is not double what it would be if I had to buy 6-7%.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's we did a show recently a couple weeks ago. So if you want to listen to that show, you can go to talkrealestateroundtable.com, or you can go to your podcast app and search Talk Real Estate Roundtable. One of the questions was, or we really just talked about if you were like you should move when you're ready, and it's not just your lifestyle, but it's also the financial aspect of it too. And sometimes in this market, you might live in this beautiful 4-bedroom colonial, and your payment might be the same as maybe a 2-bedroom ranch or condo or something based on your income. That's Dewey from Family Guy.
Dewey from Family Guy. That's my alarm this morning. It goes across the room. Mom, mommy. Oh my gosh, how do you want that? It gets you out of bed. Yeah, it definitely gets me out of bed. But my kids are grown, they don't live with me anymore, so it's kind of like mine.
Oh my gosh, you are so funny. Where was I going with that? You could have the same payment, based off of how much you're putting down, which would affect your monthly payments, your interest rate, and all that stuff. So there's definitely some factors, and we talked about that on our show.
Yeah, I work with a lovely mortgage agent, Ann Schwartz is one that we use, and she does a mastermind for us every month. We meet and we have breakfast with other real estate agents, which is super fun to do. And she was saying, working these numbers with some of these, young couples or any couple, anybody buying right now. And she's like, the mortgage payment, you do the math out, it's like, oh gosh, it's like $4,000 or $5,000. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, and of course we never want anybody to spend unnecessarily beyond what they can afford and stuff like that, which is why it's so important to always be in constant contact with your loan officer.
Oh my gosh.
And working with a professional agent that does this full time and is just like knowledgeable.
I think people don't always understand that either. Like they're like, I'm ready to buy. I want to buy. I'm like, okay, well you need to get in touch with the mortgage agent. Yeah, I'll do that. I want to look at houses. Like I get that you want to look at houses, and we want to show you houses, but you need to talk to. Well, you have your ducks in a row first, because I don't want you walking into a house falling in love with something, and then going to the mortgage.
Do you think that happens because there's so few and far between that like people feel like they're putting they put the cart before the horse?
Yes. I think. Yeah. I just think. People think like, I'll find a house and then I'll get a mortgage. When technically you really need to be more prepared on the mortgage part before you start looking. Just so your expectations are not out of whack, or that you're looking at things that you can't afford. You get your heart set on something, and then you're like, oh yeah, I can't afford that. Now I'm sad. Now I don't want to buy. Yeah. It's really important to have a good mortgage person that has your priorities straight. They know what you're looking for. They know what your payment needs to be, and then you can go out and look at as many houses as you want.
Yeah.
But that's the hard part.
So what else is going on with you guys?
Let's see. We're super busy these days, which is really nice. As I said, the year kind of started off slow. It ended kind of slow. And then the beginning of the year, we have a lot of long-term projects going on right now. Land, building, new construction. We have a deal in Duxbury that's going on quite some time, trying to close on a piece of land. And we ran into natural heritage. I'm like,
Oh, what's that?
that's what I said. What's that? Is that different than conservation? It is different than conservation.
Yeah.
So it works primarily in conjunction with conservation, just to make sure, because it's a new development. It's one of the first homes going in this new development. So it's always hard. The first lot's always the toughest one to get under agreement. So we've been kind of waiting almost a year to close on this. Is this the turtles? I believe it's the turtles. Yes. I'm calling it the turtles, but I'm not sure it's just turtles. I think it's actually the land itself. And when you're dealing with conservation land, you got to get back a little bit to get a little bit, and they will let you move the save a bigger piece for a smaller piece. The house type thing. But it seems to be coming along, and we still have our new construction home over on Ferry Street. We love to visit every weekend. We do open houses every weekend there. It's a lot. It's a beautiful home. But it's on a unique lot. That's not going to be for everybody. Yeah. So, but we're still working on that one, and it is absolutely stunning home. Jim will be there today from 11 to 12:30, and tomorrow from 11 to 12:30.
Oh, nice.
Open house. Check it out. 719 Ferry Street. And then all of a sudden, these projects are finally starting to come to fruition.
Yeah.
So it was a slow start to the year, but now we're really busy with
streaming on.
People putting their houses on the market. They're calling us to get their houses on the market. We have a couple of new builds going on. Some people are going to be selling their home to get into their new home. It's been really good. So we're very happy.
Good.
Yeah. Slow start to the year. I think, and every other agent I've talked to is like, closing? What's that look like?
No. You guys have been busier.
Busy. It's busy. Everybody in the office seems to be busy though. It's been really good.
I had Sue Bollinger on, who is a full-time realtor here at Boston Talk Real Estate. She joined me on Tuesday night. And we talked about that. We talked about how busy, not to toot our own horn, but like how busy we have been. And we try to meet once a week as a company to either do a roundtable discussion, have an office meeting or something, just to always keep in touch with each other and make sure not just keeping each other accountable, but make sure that we're getting our listings out there. About in search of buyers.
What do you have? What do I have?
Being up to date with everything that's going on in the industry and sort of being able to have an open discussion with everybody in a safe space. Yep. And we talked about it. I was like, you guys have been keeping me real busy. I'm not concerned about having a job. I'm busy. I'm grateful for that. My head's a little spinning though because Julia, who works at our front desk, she is going to start working remotely, starting not next week, but the week after. First week of June. Or really the second week, because she's taking the first week to move into Maine. She fell in love, moved to Maine.
Like a movie.
It's like you got mail movie. Fell in love at a concert, and it was just and now they're moving to Maine and starting their life together. So she'll be working remotely. So I'm back to like. Wait, what?
I'm so glad we still have her though.
We're very.
I was heartbroken when I heard that. I was like, what? I was devastated.
I know.
Absolutely devastated.
But yes, we did offer her a remote position, and she did accept that. So we're happy about that.
So happy.
But I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna go back to helping people with the printer and stuff like that, like things that she won't be able to do. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna be 10 times busy.
We should have computers we can put the printer so we can just call Julia like, Julia, I'm in front of the printer. Can you FaceTime Julia? The printer is the bane of the bane of everybody's season.
It smells here. So like every single printer, please let me know if you agree with me. Every single printer in the world can smell your fear of it not working. It knows that you're in a rush. It's so hard to work.
Oh my God. Every movie you've ever seen with a printer in it that has paper coming out or not printing is so true and so accurate.
So true.
Yep.
But that's
she's the master of that domain.
The fun of I was happy to give that.
I know you're gonna be here like when nobody's here. It's just gonna be you instead of you and Julia, it's going to be a different dynamic here for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be good. But we're excited, and we're really happy for Julia. But I don't even
where
know
were we
where I was
going
with
with
that.
conversation?
I don't know, but
we were talking about,
if anybody cares,
that was busy.
But everyone says, or people say to me, not everybody that I've ever met, but people say to me, there's no inventory, this, and this, and I'm like, I have a different perspective because I see how busy you guys are, and you guys meeting everyone in our office. And there was a week where we put 9 listings on. There was a week when we put 7 listings on. So I was like, well, I guess
I guess inventory is better.
Yeah, I think that it's definitely better. As soon as I got my accepted offer, I stopped looking.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I stopped looking at anything. And it's funny because before I had my accepted offer, I thought to myself, I wonder if buyers get an accepted offer on a home, but they continue to still look at their emails from their agent,
or them not to.
And I was I wonder if I'm going to do that because I wonder if I'm going to feel like I missed out on something. Or as soon as I got my accepted offer, I don't know I ever looked at a house other than the Boston Connect Real Estate listing because not only did I not want to lose out somehow on the house that I had by falling in love with something else or whatever. I just didn't have the time to look at anything else. Jasmine was asking me for things. I had to make phone calls. I had to get paperwork, everything. I signed purchase and sales, and then it was closing day, and I was like, oh yeah, I kind of just forgot that any other house existed.
This is the only house. This is the only house in my. Yeah, I encourage buyers that have made an offer and they have an accepted offer and are moving on. Purchase and sale is done. Do not go back looking and then looking in your rearview mirror did I miss out on something? Did something else come on the market that I wish? I'm like, no, stop. Yeah. Sometimes I will take them off of MLS temporarily just until we close, just because you don't want to have anybody ever feel. I really wished I had gotten that one instead of this. Yeah. It's like, nope. Things work out for a reason. Yeah. And then I always say that to people. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. You say that about a lot of things, but real estate is really one of those things, I really feel. You cannot go back and doubt yourself. When you see the right house, you make the offer, and you feel very confident with what you're doing. And by the time you get in, you cannot wait to get into your house. Don't look.
Yeah. Don't look. I also say there's a bum for every seat, so there's a bum for every house.
Bum for every house. Yeah, that's very. We're gonna be busy. Yeah, we're gonna be busy this summer. Over the next couple of months. We kind of have something going every month. We always looking for land. Land is another tough thing.
Oh yeah, why don't you put out your little PSA?
Let me put up my little. I'm looking for land. We have builders who are looking to build custom homes pretty much anywhere on the South Shore, within reason. I mean, we'd love to find a nice piece of land in Pembroke or Hanover, Norwell. Any type of even one lot, not necessarily multiple lots, but even one or two lots. We're happy to. We have builders that are ready to go, that are ready to build. Or if you have a piece of land that you've been holding on to for a while, we'll be happy to go out and talk to you about it. Maybe now's not the time to sell it. Maybe it is, but if you're holding on to those pieces of land, it's always good to make sure. When I worked in the building department, people come in, they're like, my mother left me this large piece of land, and I know it's worth a lot of money. Yeah. You start looking at it, and you realize that there are bylaws, and there are restrictions, and setbacks,
and you know so much about that stuff.
All that stuff, zoning, planning. People just look at a piece of land and think that's you can just build on it because that's what you've been told forever, that you've been holding on to this piece of land. But there are zoning bylaws and planning bylaws that go along, and every town is a little bit different. So it's not as straightforward as you think of just having a piece of land. You have to have a circle that has to fit into an upland. You have to have enough frontage. You have to have enough distance from your septic system, distance from your neighbor's yard, distance from here. So when you start looking at like our neighborhood where we are in Hanover, our lot lines are the most creative lot lines I've ever seen.
Why?
Because
what happened in Hanover?
What they did is they tried to get as many lots as they could out of the land that they had, which every builder does, obviously. If you're going to buy, you can get an extra lot. That's a lot of money. So, but we have some really creative lot lines. Like with our neighbors, thank God, the Chasons, which I love them.
We love them.
Oh my goodness. So anyway, but we laugh about our lot lines. My front lawn is on Bill's property, and Bill's shed and maybe part of his pool is on our property.
So what happened when it go down?
Landscape easements. You gotta. We've talked about it. Have we done it? No, we are procrastinating because neither one of us is in a position right now that we're going to be selling. But we all know that could change subject to Taylor and moving to Nashville.
Everyone knows that as soon as Taylor's getting married, having a baby, you guys are moving down there.
Everybody knows it. We're telling everybody. But yeah, we would have to go to an attorney and agree to the fact that we need to straighten out our lot lines. So
how did that happen? When your development was being built,
they had,
we're just going to throw a line here, pretty much there, and you guys can figure it out.
150 feet of frontage, I can do, or 130, whatever it is in Hanover, 150 feet of frontage, 20 feet from the side lot line. We can fit in another lot.
Yeah.
Even though it's going to really screw up these people's lot lines. So when you look at them, they're very pointed, and ours is just hilarious because the marker's in my front. You can shoot a line straight to the back and be like, yeah, they figured that out. So, but when you can get an extra lot in, that's what they do. And bylaws change. Zoning bylaws change. So they're not always the same. So what they were back in 1999 or 1998 when they built the house is probably different than what it is today. So, it is crazy. So again, when people used to come into the Pembroke Building Department and they're like, my mother left me this piece of land, and I'm like, yeah, okay. You got a piece of wetland back over here. You don't have any upland, and you don't have enough frontage to build. But she said it was a buildable lot. I'm like, everybody says it's a buildable lot.
Everyone thinks
It's a buildable lot. Not always, unfortunately.
Everyone had to go to Tracy Grady to have her give the bad news.
I still get a couple of phone calls from people like,
really?
Well, Sam. I have not heard from Sam in a while because he's way smarter than I am. But I would get Sam would call me like, what do you think? But what about this? What about this zoning bylaw or something to that effect?
Really?
Yeah, people would call. Everybody.
Yeah.
I still get them every now and again.
Oh yeah, because everyone in our office knows that you're a wealth of knowledge when it comes to building and permits and everything like that.
I knew nothing about that when I started there. I literally took the job as a secretary and started answering the phone. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Wow.
But
You're a great student then.
I'm a very quick study, so to say. But so there are a lot of things that go along with. So as I said, if you're holding on to a piece of land and you just want to get some information on it, please feel free to give me a call because we would love to look at it. We have builders that are ready to go, that are ready to build. Or again, if you have a piece of land that you're thinking about building on, we have wonderful builders that we can recommend to you.
And you work with more than one builder.
Yep, work with more than one builder, and they'll pretty much build anything that you're willing to. A ranch, colonials. I think colonials are kind of going by the wayside these days.
A lot of people want ranch. They want one level living.
Yeah. A lot of our clients, and we have a lot of clients that are obviously looking to, and we call it right size here, downsize, right size. From that four bedroom colonial with the stairs, they want to get to something that's one level, which is what our clients that we're working with here in Pembroke right now. They wanted everything on the first level. The condo that they are purchasing actually does still have 2 bedrooms upstairs, but they don't have to go up there if they don't want to. So if their grandkids come to stay, or they have company or something, there's a bathroom up there, so it's lovely.
It can be separate.
But everything in their world is going to be on the first floor. And it really does make a huge difference up and down those stairs.
Well, someone better remind them that they have a second floor, because sometimes I forget that I have a whole bottom half of my house, and I'm like, I go down there to do laundry, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
I have a finished room down here.
I could do something with this room.
What is this? What? Yeah. But someone should remind them.
Our clients are they are moving to the condo, and they are packing up their house that they've been in since the day they built it themselves. So they've been there for 40 years. And let me tell you, there's a lot of stuff in a house for 40 years, and it's very overwhelming when you go in and you start thinking, I have to pack all this. All of this has to be gone. And the other thing I think is funny about them, they're so worried about their basement being cluttered. it's very organized, but there is a lot of stuff down there.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's in boxes and packing. And Jim and I always say to people that worry about their basements, I'm like, people want to see that you are packing and you are...
You're ready to move.
You're ready to go. You're ready to pack. People don't expect your house to be, everything out of it, neat as a pin, and where do they think all your stuff is? They want to see that you have boxes that are packed because it means these people are serious about selling their home and they're ready to go.
Yeah.
And they're thinking about it, they're packing, they're moving. So that's what I tell her all the time. She worries like wringing her hands. I'm like,
well, looking at a house myself, if I walked into a house and there was just a ton of stuff, and I was in a great position where I could give somebody time or I could close very quickly, but like I always felt like every single time I walked into a house and there was like absolutely no sign of anybody moving other than the actual sign. Right?
no boxes.
Full closets.
I'm like,
Do they want to move?
Are you sure you want to move?
They still very much live in this home, which we're not saying like box up every single thing that you have and live out of boxes. And
No.
I'll tell you, I'm still living out of boxes. I bought my house in November. But no, we're not saying that. But make it seem a little bit like
You're ready to go.
You're ready to go.
You have to really actively look like you're ready to go. Like, I'm packing, we're going, we're selling, we're very, this is what we want to do. So it's pretty funny. But yeah, trying to get ready to move is always a very big project. And, and the other thing is a deep clean. It's always hard to go into somebody's home and say, well, I think you would benefit. Now, I don't expect you to live like this. I don't live like this on a daily basis, but if you're going to put your house on the market, it has to appear pristine as you can possibly make it. So when we say get a house cleaner in or get a deep clean done, we just mean, the things that you don't normally do on a daily basis. Do you always clean your baseboards on a daily basis? No. But when you're moving and people looking at your house, I think it's just super important to have that.
That's something that I wish that I had sort of invested in. So like when I bought my house, I had the hardwood floors refinished. I had the whole house painted and everything. But I wish I brought in a cleaner after. Like I cleaned everything as we were moving and all that stuff, whatever. And then I just felt like, I feel like if I had a cleaner, like they could have done like such a better job than me. And then now I'm like, living in it and I have to keep up with it. And I'm like, I really wish that I had just like done a bullet and just had somebody come in and do a deep clean and just had felt
especially after hardwood floors are done, it's tough to get all that done. There's a ton of stuff.
Yeah,
and
there's stuff everywhere.
It just gets places that you just don't even think about.
Yeah. I mean, I washed the walls down and all that stuff, whatever, but like, I don't want to do that.
Can we talk about the stink bug?
Oh, yeah.
Can we talk about the stink bug? Can somebody explain to me? Can anybody explain to me the stink bug and why certain rooms they don't go into, other rooms, such as my bedroom, they love to be in,
and love to be in my office, sister.
And they are full size when they arrive. Like I've never seen a baby stink bug.
Where have you come from?
There is no baby stink bugs. They are just full-grown bugs, and then they just die on the vine.
Yeah,
and they seem to get into crevices. Yeah, feel like
if you're gonna get something, I'm like. And my talons out like they have like an eagle.
And they just drop into places where all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I have drapes that go all the way down to the floor of my bedroom. And I pick up the bottom of the drape and I've got like 3 dead stink bugs underneath.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know what's going on.
I don't either. And then like Taylor's room? None. There are no stink bugs in Taylor's room. My bedroom? Yes. Colin's bedroom? Well, I still call it my kids' bedroom. They don't live there. But they're there. But not in Taylor's room. I'm like, what is going on? And we don't really have a lot of them downstairs. But my bedroom, for some reason.
Well, maybe you have to make a move over to Taylor.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't get the stink bug. Can somebody explain that to me? But those are the type of things that a deep cleaner would get, underneath your baseboards, underneath your heaters, places that, windowsill ledges, things of that nature.
Cobwebs up in the...
I just don't understand where they come from, though. I really don't. They come full grown. There's no babies.
There are no babies. They just appear.
They just appear full grown. Like, where are they coming from? I don't know. Well, that's my conversation of the stink bug. If anybody can explain the stink bug to me,
stink bug and why they're so large and in charge.
Yeah. I don't understand at all. No. Are the cicadas coming our way?
Oh, I don't know.
Since we're on the subject of bugs, the cicada's coming our way because I have seen some horrifying videos of people walking down the street and just crunching them under. I'm like,
I would think, I've seen some on TikTok. I would think that maybe that's a question for a home inspector, somebody who does pest inspection. Maybe I would think that the people who do pest inspections for a living, that they would be in the know of some bugs that are coming or that are going to be around.
I'm not sure we are going to get them, but oh my gosh, watching some of those, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what I'd do. Like, you can't walk down the street.
I wouldn't come to work. I'm just letting you know.
Nope. I've been barricading in my house. I'll stick with my stink bug.
Yeah.
I'll be staying with my stink bugs.
Oh my gosh. But that brings us to pest inspections, which is
another.
Those are important. They're, we saw for a while, the waiving of home inspections, the waiving of pest inspections, radon inspections and stuff like that. But I'm actually not seeing it as much. What about you?
No. We just did it the other day. Actually, called our very favorite home inspector. Chris Merrick, one of my very favorites. And I'm like, it's been a long time, Chris. And he's like, yeah, it's been a little slow, but he also said the same thing. Definitely starting to see people not waiving home inspections. And I'm always an avid one, especially for first-time buyers. I hate when they waive home inspection because I like them to do the entire process.
So you just said that on air on Tuesday, too. First-time home buyers.
First-time home buyers. I'm not saying that it's not, if you really are trying to get into a house and you waive the home inspection, I get it. Ideally, I try not to get my buyers so that they're so nitpicking that it becomes a ridiculous, I think the days of going back and getting a huge amount of money back. From a home inspection, it's more for education. How do you shut off your burner? How do you turn this on? How do you shut off your water? I think it's educational to have a home inspector walk through a house, especially with first-time buyers. I just think that's important. Beginning to end, you go through the entire process.
It's educational. Yeah. You know where the water shut off. It's more of like finding, not necessarily like finding every single bit that is wrong with the house.
Every,
what are you going to do? What are you going to do about the woodpeckers? Like,
it's still there.
They still there. They live outside. That's their home.
You're going to still have woodpeckers. If they have woodpeckers today, more than likely the woodpeckers.
You're always going to have. Where is it going with that part?
Home inspection.
Home inspection. Yeah. She just said, it's more educational. So you're finding your first time home, you've never owned a home before. I never knew where my water shut off was before until Mark told me where it was.
I have no idea what I'm looking for. I just think it's just important to have that education for your buyer.
Yeah.
So they're familiar with their
house. They can say, hey, this is how you turn your central air on. This is how you turn your heat on. And it seems so like, why wouldn't you know how to do that? But sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you just don't.
Sometimes you don't. Do you know how to shut off the spigots to outdoors and make sure that they're the winterized and stuff like that? No, but Mark McNamara does. McNamara plumbing.
God.
McNamara plumber is what I said. He's a McNamara plumber. That's what he is. McNamara plumbing does. So.
Oh my goodness.
But
I like seeing that it's no longer like a taboo to have a home inspection done. I think it is really, really important. And it's not about ripping the house apart. It's not what we're there to do. We're there to inform and educate the buyer, and maybe, you might pick up on something that needs to be fixed ahead of time, and and anybody would want to do that. I know my sellers right now. We just did the Title V inspection. And it failed. But it was a 40-year-old system, so they definitely got their money's worth out of the system that they have. So they have to put in, obviously, a new system. But she did say to me, I feel better in my heart about that because I would hate for somebody to buy the house and then have a failure, within the first, if it's not passing Title V, then it's in a failure, then she would have felt awful.
Are you already on the market with this one, or
nope, coming on.
Okay, so
coming on in a couple of weeks.
Can you talk for for a minute about how important it is to do your Title V inspection before coming on?
It really is important to do the Title V inspection before you come on the market. A lot of people still don't do it, but buyers need to know, and buyers need to know if it's if it's a pass or a fail. Unfortunately for the seller, it's not the best news, but for a buyer, you're getting a brand new septic system, which is a lot of money. So, and I think it's important, like in this case, we're going to get the engineering done so that by the time we do the open house, we're going to feel comfortable about where the septic system is going to go. Is it going to go back where it was? What is it going to look like? Because buyers are going to want to know that. Not necessarily have the work done, because sometimes you have to get into the queue with these contractors. To get your engineering plans done and then to schedule the actual Title V inspection done, because they're busy. They're very busy. They're very busy. So it's important because the buyer needs to know, and it's definitely a promotional for your home before it goes on the market. If they're going to get a brand new septic system, well, then, then your price should definitely justify that. That you're getting a brand new septic system. So it is important to do it ahead of time.
It's just so important as a seller to know, like, if you're going to have that expense.
Yes.
Especially because
you have to have that passing Title V in your hand, or a compliance certificate stating that it's got a working septic system by the time you close. So it can never be too soon, and they're good for 2 years. So if you do a Title V and you pass, it's good for 2 years. So it's not like you're putting again the cart before the horse. You really need to have that done prior to closing. It's very important. And again, I think it's important for the buyer to know where the septic system is going to go in the yard. If it's going somewhere else, if it's a mounded system, is it going to look different? You got to know those things up front.
And that's why you have to work with a buyer's agent.
Which is why
that can ask those questions. I mean, do you know that you should be asking for, septic designs and, knowing the location of it, what type of system it is, because they're not all the same. They don't all look the same from the outside either. So,
although I think they are getting much better. But like we had some back years ago when we lived in Hanover, the people next to us ended up with this massive mounded system. I think they have come a long way with septic systems. I think they've realized that it has to be aesthetically pleasing where it goes, so it's not like a big thing. So. Yeah, it's important.
That'll be Title V. Yeah, that's definitely a Sharon show. She loves septic systems. She loves septic systems, and I did that show with Faith Birmingham, who's watching us on Facebook too. So hi, Faith. Faith Birmingham, who's a full-time realtor here at Boston Talk Real Estate, and she is doing an open house today. So we'll be talking about that in a few minutes, but. We did a show on septic systems, and Sharon was supposed to join us, but Mackenzie was here, and of course, family comes first, and so I was like, she loves Mackenzie because she is missing her favorite show. So that was pretty funny. But yeah, no, just again, we did a show on septic systems. So if you want to listen to that, talkrealestateroundtable.com or Talk Real Estate Roundtable on your podcast app, but. It is just so important.
It's one of the bigger. It's definitely one of the bigger things about selling. It's huge.
A home inspector isn't going to inspect the septic system.
No.
So that needs to be inspected separately.
Sometimes you get a conditional pass. That's just like a replacement of a D-box or something, which isn't horrible news. Not worst case scenario.
I think with my house, they had to replace a pipe somewhere.
And then it can, and you're going to know that from the Title V inspection as well. Like, okay, you've got a conditional pass, you just need to replace the D-box. It just gets really expensive when you have to replace the whole thing.
And make sure that you pump your system.
Pump your system
regularly.
Jim. We have had discussions about this. We have had discussions about this. We're much better now. Let's put it this way. We are much better now. And we definitely had it. When we put our pool in, we had a Title V inspection done, and our system is in great shape. So
Good.
We're all good.
Gosh.
Yep.
So you have to have it inspected when you put your
Our septic system was super close.
Oh,
So it just had to be, we had to identify all the components to make sure that we weren't anywhere, we weren't putting a big truck over the tank, things of that nature. So we kind of had to know exactly where all the pieces and parts were to it.
Yeah.
So it just worked out great at the time. So we ended up having a septic company come out and identify all the components, and they did Title V inspection. We're good.
Interesting.
And we're good.
I never really even thought about that. But yeah, I mean, that makes sense to be so close to the pool. I mean,
Ideally, I wish we could have
did the pool company ask for like your like plot plan and all that stuff?
Yeah. Because again, back to my building department days, pools have to meet certain requirements. You can only be, 20 feet. I use some numbers because every town is different. 20 feet from your side lot line, 25 from the rear, 10 from the tank, 20 from the leaching field.
You just remember all these
40
numbers.
from the street.
What?
I know. It's like a painful little compartment in my brain. I cannot shake these numbers out of my head. But yeah, when you're putting in, anything, if you're putting on an addition, putting in a pool, you really have to, you're supposed to pull permits for all that stuff, and you are supposed to prove, your setbacks.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be, 1 foot off of your property line.
Yeah.
Fences can go right on the property line, which I think is odd. But we normally recommend people to put them at least a foot within their own yard, so you can maintain both sides of the fence without having to go onto your neighbor's property. Great if you have wonderful neighbors like Bill and Karen, but if you don't have neighbors that you get along with and you have to go on their property, it's a problem.
Yeah.
And your neighbor would be the first one to dime you out anyway. So.
Yeah. Well, you have great neighbors, but when you're with your weird lot lines, I don't know.
I'm telling you, the lot lines are hilarious. Yeah. I'm pretty sure your shed is on my property and my front lawn is on your property.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So lot plans are very important. Yep.
There's just so much to think about when it comes to everything.
When it comes to life.
I listened for today. Like, there's just so much to think about when it comes to anything in life.
Yeah, there's so many components to it. I just didn't realize.
So many. Anything else real estate?
Anything else we can talk about?
Anything else? I mean, you haven't been on in a while, and we always just wing our shows because we're just like,
we never have an itinerary.
People having a conversation, especially today with no headphones, so we're just like, we're just two people talking on the road,
just talking like we always do.
Yeah, talking like we always do.
Chit-chat, talking.
Yeah. So what else is going on with you guys? How are you seeing other agents sort of, cooperating or anything like that, working together with you guys?
We have been so lucky with the other agents that we have worked with. And believe me, when we have our roundtables on Tuesday, when we're in our safe place here and we can talk, you do hear some stories about, But to Jim and I, knock on wood, we have been so lucky. We've always had great agents who always follow up, buyer agents, seller agents, whatever the case may be, who really go out of their way to help us. I think the market, everybody, I will say everybody kind of is in the same place. Like seeing the summertime has gotten busier, which is great. But we've always gotten along really well and worked together with people. You ask them things, they get back to you. That's one of Jim's biggest, like just answer the phone.
Just answer the phone.
Please just answer the phone when I call you. So that is like one of my things. Like I always answer the phone.
Yeah.
I always respond right away. And we've been really lucky with other agents that we've worked with. And we always love to work with our friends here at Boston Connect Real Estate.
Anytime. And you have.
Yeah, we've done a lot.
Yeah. You've been doing some deals with some of our agents. We have a lot of our agents actually are doing deals with each other. So
well, it's great because we know what everybody's looking for.
Yeah,
we always try, like this is what I'm looking for. I have this coming on the market later this year. we're just lucky to have a really nice group of people that we work with. I know there are some horror stories out there, but
yeah, I mean, I only ask because, we've done many shows. I've said it a million times. It is so important to work with a professional in this industry. And, the ones that aren't professional are the ones who give us the stigma of, we don't do anything. We're not,
buyer's
we don't need to use it. So I just love hearing the success stories and even, great stories where you're working with agents and other companies that are, just everything is going well and you're working together, you're not working against each other.
Exactly. Your seller wants to sell, your buyer wants to buy.
Yeah, let's make it work.
We are married.
Yeah,
really.
Let's
There
make it
really
work.
no reason that it shouldn't work.
We only have about 4 minutes left, so I want to give you an opportunity to give your contact information out to everybody before we talk about some open houses here at Boston Connect Real Estate.
Sounds great. You can reach me, Tracy Grady, at 617-620-8484 or Tracy, Tracy, no E, at BostonConnect.com, or my husband Jim at 617-842-4019 or Jim at BostonConnect.com. And Jim's doing an open house today.
Yes, where's Jim today?
Jim is at 719 Ferry Street in Marshfield. Beautiful 4-bedroom colonial, and it has all of the bells and whistles. The kitchen is stunning. Love the color of the kitchen. Everything is done. Lights are in. Floors are done. Whole house generator.
Wow.
Hardwood floors throughout. It's a beautiful home. It sits at the top of the lot. It's stunning. If you're doing anything today or heading to the beach down at Hammerock, it's minutes away from the beach. Stop in, say hi to Jim, check it out. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it is. And it's brand new.
And it's brand spanking new.
It's brand new.
Yep.
And so he's there today. What time tomorrow?
Same time, 11 to 12:30 both days.
Nice.
So
are you joining him tomorrow?
No, just him.
Not a date day?
Not a date day. I'm going to be floating in my pool, maybe.
Yeah,
I'm hoping.
That's really nice. We do have some open houses here at Boston Connect Real Estate this weekend. So Mary and Sharon have 49 Center Street in Pembroke. Mary will be there today from 1 to 3. That is on the market for $629.9. Great house. I mean, great curb appeal. Just so adorable. If you ever drive by the center of town or around the center of town, right at the bend, you know exactly what house this is. 49 Center Street, Pembroke, 1 to 3 today, $629.9. Great house. Michelle Fay has an open house today from 12 to 2. She will be at 3 Champion Way in Pembroke. I did see that house. A great house too. Great little neighborhood.
Downtown, right near the fire station.
Yeah.
Walkable to almost everything downtown Pembroke has to offer. Stop and shop, pizza.
Yeah, pizza. That is on the market for $644.9. Faith Birmingham, who joined me a couple of weeks ago, she is at 9 Washington Park in Carver. That is an open house today from 1 to 3. That's on for $179.9. Grady team, of course, at 719 Ferry Street in Marshfield today and tomorrow 10 to 11:30. And then, of course, we have Cushing Trails in Hanson. That is every Saturday and Sunday 10 to 12. And they also have Cochise Estates and West Bridgewater, and that is every single Saturday and Sunday, 11 to 3 as well. Those range in prices, both of those new construction developments. So if you have any questions, be sure to reach out to them directly. You can find everybody's contact information on bostonconnect.com. And thank you so much for joining me today. This is so fun.
Thank you so much. I know, spur of the moment yesterday you called. I said yes. I couldn't wait to come. Fantastic.
I couldn't wait to come. Fantastic. I will be back here on Tuesday night at 6:15 to 7. I don't know what the topic is, but I promise you it'll be about real estate. But thank you so much, everybody, for listening. Again, you were listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. You can go to bostonconnect.com for all of our contact information. Thank you so much to the Grady team for joining me.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Do we even know if we're on here?